All right, good morning, folks, and welcome to our broadcast. Happy to have all of you with us this morning, wherever you're joining us from today. We are delighted and privileged to have you folks on the live this morning as we get back to regular programming. How was the weekend, folks? How was the weekend? It was such a weekend. Historical weekend, historical elections. Happy to have you folks with us. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, welcome. What are you having for a hot beverage this morning? If it's a hot beverage, what are you folks having this morning? Allison and Wenda and Siobhan and Deborah, Sonia, Rita, good to have you here. Edwin, Sharon, Marcia, great to have all of you on the broadcast. Good to have all of you on the live today. Yvonne, good to see you. Carol Rollins, great to see you as well. Good to have Marley and Brenda. Auntie Sandra's on the live too. Sandra Hanover, Michelle. Good to have all of you folks with us. It's the morning after the weekend before, and we're so privileged that you guys could join us. Good to have Marlon Larma on the line this morning. I spoke with Marlon quite recently, and it was so great to see her and to hear her voice, to hear Marlon's voice. And thanks to all of you who, some of you came home, you left the diaspora, wherever the diaspora is, and you came home and you helped with the last election. Those of you at home who helped as well. Those of you who went out and you voted. Thanks to you folks as well. Those of you who have still kept the fires burning since the election of September 1, 2025. Good morning to all of you, and thank you folks from the bottom of our hearts. Good to have you guys with us. It's the next steps now in that process of governing as a government and as a parliamentary opposition. Those are the next steps. As you know, the elections were called for the PPP very late Saturday night, officially late Saturday night, and then yesterday, Sunday, you had the swearing in of Mohammed Irfan Ali as the 9th executive president of Guyana. The next steps for them is choosing the cabinet, choosing the ministers. There's a sense that quite a few folks are not going to be going back. And also on the other side too of the political aisle, you have the incoming members of the Win Party in the National Assembly. It'll be interesting to see who occupy those 17 seats for the Win Party. And then you have Also the Forward Movement, Guyana, 3 small parties making up that movement led by Amanzo Walton Desir. It'll be interesting to see which of them leads the fight in the National Assembly. And then on the side of the Partnership for National Unity, 12 seats there. It'll be interesting as well to see how those 12 seats are allocated. And of course, I get a sense they're going to go with some seasoned persons and also some new faces into the National Assembly as well. And so it's an interesting dispensation, interesting period in our nation's history. But I am so happy that you folks are here. That is what makes it interesting for me. Having you folks here, Viola, Magnell, Bernice, and I was storing Magnell's number just this morning. Good to have you on the broadcast, Magnell. Forbes, good to have Forbes here too. And the other folks who are joining us, some of you are quietly watching us. You may never comment, and for good reason. You may never comment, and for very good reason. But you're watching us nonetheless, and you support us in that way with your presence here. You listen to the issues, and perhaps you go back to your home, you go back to your workplace, and you champion some of those issues. We are thankful for you guys as well. Gloria Chester is joining us too. Good to have you on the broadcast, Gloria. And then this election is over. The campaigns, if not wound down, they are winding down. And the next fight is local government elections, believe it or not. That's where the next battle is. Next year is local government elections. I've been listening to some of the pundits who are arguing that the PPP, they never like local government elections, so they may not go in that direction, especially with a surging, if you believe the numbers, a surging We Invest in Nationhood win party. They may not be inclined to go into local government election. They've already not postponed but cancelled internal elections in councils for mayors and deputy mayors and so on. They've already cancelled that when it was supposed to happen about a year ago, and now we're heading frontally for the entire democratic renewal process at the local government level. And again, a lot of political commentators and pundits don't see the PP going to those elections, but it would be remiss of us not to operate as though those elections were happening and happening very, very soon, because this year is going to just go like that, and then we're into local government election 2026, that campaign, and we're right back at it. We are right back at it. So a number of things, we are already seeing the political calendar unfolding before us and becoming more and more evident over the next few months. And we're just happy we're going to be here with you folks, bringing you the latest each and every day as we come back to our regular programming time. We're still vacillating whether 8:15 is a comfortable hour for us now, or is it 9 o'clock would be a better time. So we're going to work with 8:15. Like a feeling 9. A feeling 9 would be a comfortable time to put this program. Now, folks, November is going to be 5 years since we're out here. 5 years since we're out here. November. My God, 5 years. 5 years. And I'm so privileged that lots of you, most of you have been with us for the entire period. And then some of y'all fast, a friend tell y'all about us, and then you chime in too to hear and to listen, and then you fall in love, with my good looks and my charms. It's not difficult to see why, it's not difficult. But good morning to all of you. Happy to have you, Simone and Lisa, Avril, Edward. Good to have all of you folks on the live this morning. It's a real privilege. It's a real privilege having you folks with us. I just reached into the closet and the wardrobe, as we say. We don't say wall robe. Reach into the wardrobe and I picked out this is this wine red? Is it burgundy? I don't even know. But it is what it is this morning. I'm just happy to be here with you folks. Sharmila is on this morning. Sharmila, Simeon Carter is on. Sharmila says 9 is okay. 9 a.m. is okay. Thank you, Sharmila. Thank you. That helps me a lot. Thank you, Sharmila. Right? Patricia says 9 is okay. Yes, 9 is a very comfortable hour. The kids are off to school, and the wife is not so groggy and so on, and Well, I roll out of bed and I hit the ground running. I roll out of bed, I hit the ground running, and say, boom, right? Marlon says 9, I'll be able to get home and from work in time. Yeah, yeah. Cecile and so on, right? So let us say we work with 9 suits me. Let us say we work with 8:15 for this week, and then we go 9 official next week. So we'll notify people of the change all week this week that will be on for 9 in the morning from next week, which would give us a comfortable time. Mandy says I like 9. Simone Grimm said 9 is perfect, like a hit a nail on the head, like a Sifar. 9 is perfect. Luan and the other folks, Yvonne, Ramasar, and so on. 9 is comfortable. Yep. Magnell says 9. Let's talk the things. Correct is right. Great to have all of you on the broadcast this morning. But as I said, it was such a historical weekend. The declarations being made very late Saturday night, I think it was, precipitated, or followed rather, by the swearing in of the 9th executive president of Guyana, like it or not, Mohammed Irfan Ali. It was the swearing in that was precipitated by the declaration. Just making sure I get my language correct. And Saturday afternoon, I thought you had a fantastic message by the leader of the opposition, the outgoing leader of the opposition. There is going to be a new leader of the opposition, either Ashruddin Mohammed or somebody that they have designated to hold that fort, but they now have the majority of seats in the parliamentary opposition. They have 17 seats in the parliamentary opposition, and so they can easily vote for the leader of the opposition. When you get to that very first sitting of the National Assembly, this is the 13th Parliament. When you get into that setting, the members of the opposition have to vote for leader of the opposition, and no doubt they have the majority there in the parliamentary opposition. It's done privately. This isn't a public broadcast, a public thing. Even though perhaps it should be as part of our democratic renewal process, but that is done privately as per custom. Their 17 MPs no doubt will hold for a member of that 17 to be the leader of the opposition. So Hidden Smith saying the outgoing leader of the opposition. I think Mr. Norton had a fantastic message. And in this campaign, limited resources, limited personnel in some instances, put on a tremendously good showing. A politician for the ages, a man of no mean order, and a great leader in his own right. When the history of this nation is written, his name will be very, very high up there. When the annals of the histories of this country is written. He did a fantastic presentation, channeling the Burnham of 1961 in this presentation, a concession speech of sort, if you want to look at it in that way, because when you, as you will hear, when the leader starts talking about heading into the National Assembly or something of that sort, with a small amount of seats, it means that you are accepting what is the result of the election. So it's a concession of sorts, even though the word isn't used very frontally there, but also explaining where we're coming from, and in a sense too, pointing the way to the future as well. So why don't we start there? What I thought was a superb presentation by the leader of the opposition, Mr. Aubrey Norton. Take a look, folks, and take a listen as we begin our broadcast this morning.
Need to thank our members and supporters for their support during the September 1st general and regional elections. I take this opportunity to wish all Guyanese the best, regardless of the political party you supported. In spite of the manifest deficiencies in the electoral system, including a bloated list and the lack of biometrics, our party decided to participate in the elections held on the 1st September 2025. The deficiencies to which I refer undermine any basis for the creation of a framework for free, fair, and transparent elections. The number of irregularities which have been discovered and documented gives legitimacy to the position that the elections were not free and fair. These elections did not reflect the will of the Guyanese people. The clear purpose of the APNU coalition was to contest the elections, and if it were victorious, among other things, was to change the electoral system and other procedures to ensure free and fair elections. The inadequacies and imperfections of the existing electoral system are well known locally, regionally, and internationally. A brief glance of the report of the international observer groups which have monitored elections in Guyana have repeatedly identified and pointed to, for example, it's well documented that the 1997 elections in Guyana were marred by controversy and allegations of fraud, particularly regarding the tabulation of results in Region 4, Georgetown. The Organization of American States observed these elections and criticized the vote counting process, contributing to concerns about the integrity and credibility of the outcome. For instance, the OAS documented irregularities and procedural concerns in the tabulation process. The Commonwealth Observer Group in December 1997 stated, "We believe that the shortcomings contributed to the diminished credibility of the election results that were being announced by the Electoral Commission," unquote. The European Union's Election Observation Mission has been scathing in its report on the September 1st, 2025 general and regional elections, saying that though the elections were peaceful, the playing field was not even. EU Chief Robert Bedron accused the PPPC of blurring the line between state and party and using state resources and unchecked financing to give itself a massive head start. By contesting the elections, our party has retained occupancy of political space that provides the opportunity to contest against the dictatorial tendencies of the PPPC and advance the cause of social and economic justice, free and fair elections, and a democratic culture in Guyana. As a major political party, it is necessary that we maintain and utilize that space for the ongoing mobilization of our people and all relevant forces in order to attain the kind of society in which the morals and culture of democracy are firmly embedded. As a consequence of September 1st, 2025 elections, which were not free and fair, our party has found itself in virgin territory of not being the governing party or the main opposition party. APNU, of which the PNC is a major party, has a wealth of experience in weathering political storms. We will come through this and we will be stronger and better. We will continue the journey towards the goal of making this society a prosperous and equal one in which all our citizens can enjoy all of the rights and benefits of the national resources of our country. I give you the assurance that the APNU will never abandon or desert you, however difficult the circumstances. I'm sure that the members of the coalition will not disagree with me if I reach for a historical moment in the politics of this country. The People's National Congress was also knocked down more than 6 decades ago, even though it had managed to win 41% of the electorate. Yet, the PNC picked itself up, and through the committed support of its members and with hard work and dedication, it succeeded in achieving government approximately 3 years later. After the PNC's major loss in 1961, the leader of the party, Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham, at a mass rally at Border Green, asked his supporters, "Will you not watch with me for 1 hour?" Similarly, I appeal to all APNU supporters to watch with us at this critical hour. We are like the oak tree. We will re-emerge better and stronger. Thank you.
Yep. That was the presentation, folks, by the leader of the opposition, talking to us there about where we are. What is the state of play? What is the state of play? And there was so much energy in that room, listening to him deliver that presentation, that address to the nation. Won't you watch with me for 1 hour? Good folks, won't you watch with us for 1 hour? And that is where we are now. The government, no doubt, has its agenda. First item would be pulling the cabinet together. They have to make some radical shuffles. And we can have some time to talk a little bit about their losses too. We can have some time to talk about their losses. They're very worried. They are very worried. Of course, they're going to want to show APNO and PNCR in a very bad light. We have suffered all the losses, apparently. But when we look and see what has happened in their constituency as well, they are very, very worried. Very, very, extremely very worried. Very worried. And we can have some time in the hours ahead and days ahead to delve into that a little bit more. But that's where we are this morning. Won't you watch with us for 1 hour? And we're going to have to recalibrate. We were able to bounce back on our feet in shorter time than we did in 2020. That's what experience does to you. Here we are out front again. Just happy to be here with you guys, giving you the valid, credible information. We're going to have to recalibrate. We're going to have to recalibrate as well. And we crave your indulgence to help us to keep going. We're going to crave your indulgence in that regard. You folks know we cannot do it on our own. And look, over the past 2 years, we have not been as trying not to seem as needy as we really were. But we want to keep going, and we want to continue to bring the valid and credible information to you. And this is where you guys are going to have to subscribe in a really a major way, right? I hope you all notice for these elections, we were pulling for the APNO. I hope you all notice we didn't take on political advertising for the PPP. We didn't take on political advertising for anybody else. Did you all realize that? That comes as a cost to us because, we want to stay focused as well. We want to stay very, very focused as well in terms of what we believe we have to do. And it's giving a voice and a face to what's happening on this side of the political aisle. And so we resisted having to go in that direction. And we love the fact too that it is you folks who keep us going. So anybody could muzzle us. I like that. I like that. So you see that link that is passing you? It's a new month. It's the 8th day of September, and we need your help to keep going. If you hear me saying it a little more than you heard us saying it, folks, in the past 2 years, it only underscores the urgency. And those of you who can, please do so. Help us to keep moving forward with pace and with power. I am very happy to be here with you folks, and I commit to doing this as long as we can, as long as it's necessary. So I tell you all the time, Alana and all the other folks, Alana Tang watching us, that I don't want y'all worry about me. I don't want you. They got a lot of things you could worry about, a lot of people you could worry about. I want to be the one fixture in your day. And I hope I haven't done anything, to make you all say, I want this video now. I want this video going now. You all know for the whole 5 years, I talk about coalition. That's something that has really inspired me. Coalition politics. I'm very sorry we were not able to pull it together, at the end there. But I made a claim. I said, this is where I want to stand with our PNCR brothers and sisters. I want to stand with our brothers and sisters from the WP and all the other entities. I want to stand with them, right? And for that, I didn't leave my political party per se. Right? But here is where we were fighting for 5 years, and then you want me to do something contrary to that. So I couldn't find myself going in that direction. And I said, this is where I'm standing up. And I was expelled from my party for that. I was expelled for that from my party. Right? But the Lord works in mysterious ways. The Lord works in mysterious ways. You know, I'm seeing a British politician in my mind's eye who spoke, was it a British politician, about the hidden hand of destiny that guides, the hidden hand of destiny that guides us. Right? Sometimes you think something is for bad, sometimes it's for good. Sometimes it's for good. So the people pitch me off the ship. It's out the place. Pitch me off the ship. Well, the rest is history. The rest is history. I don't want to go into it. Y'all know how it ended. No pun intended. Y'all know how it ended, so I don't want to go further into that. I was pitched off the ship, and I'm still here. Resolute. Right, to serve you, the people. You, the people. This is a public service. You don't got no salary to collect off of this show at the end of the month. You don't got no. You understand what I'm telling you? No car, no mortgage is being paid. There's no salary here. It's just a labor of love. That's all it is. A labor of love. You know, I have a passion for communication. I have a passion for law. And that's how I see I could serve y'all. By trying to keep you all informed of what is happening out there. It's a labor of love. But it's a privilege too. I count it as a privilege to be able to do this with you folks and for you folks. I count it as a tremendous privilege to be allowed into homes, you know, into lives. Some of you in a taxi, in an Uber, some of you on a bus home, and you all tune in. Right? Some of you, some far-flung areas in this country, you buy credit and you say, we got to watch, we got to stay informed. Thank you. Because without you all, 1,200 of you all watching us this morning, live, I could be here talking to myself. And I ain't want that. Right? I don't want that. I am happy that you all don't have to elect me to this program. You know, some of you all done pitched me off a long time ago. I'm sorry you don't have to elect me to the program. I am here, you know. I can be a fixture, right? Others have forsaken me. Others have fling me out, expelled me. But I'm happy, you guys. You have to stay a little while longer. And let us see what the end will be. Mandy, I'm reading some of your comments. I'm reading some of your comments there. I'm reading some of those comments. James and Brenda, Forbes, Lester. All right. Akeem says, I'm in my truck tuned in. Thank you, folks. Thank you, folks. Thank you, folks. Akeem says, I'm in my truck tuned in. Well, let me give you all a heads up. I think I'm going to be in the West. Or it's up north. Up north for Christmas. All right. This year, we had no vacation. Our family took the decision, we suspend vacation because we got an election on our hand and all hands on deck. So we suspend vacation. But I think I'm going to do Christmas up north. Never been in the cold for Christmas. Up north, I think this is going to be the year. Right? So we'll go and, you know, revive ourselves properly. Come again and revive for the new year. 2026. At least that's the plan. You know, 3-4 months out, that's the plan. Christmas in the north. Christmas in the north. Let's see how it goes. Let us see how it goes. Many are the plans of a man's heart. Let us do our devotion this morning. You all did your devotion already? How many of you all know it? That's one of my favorite scriptures. Yvette Wilford, Gwyneth, Gerald, Forbes, Right? Is it Liddy? Some of y'all got some beautiful names. And I'm happy I saw some of y'all face to face during this campaign. As I said, some of y'all came home from the diaspora just to make sure you exercise your franchise. Thank you guys so much. Right? Miss Liverpool, you know yourself. Thank you guys so much. Many are the plans of a man's heart, but only the will of the Lord shall prevail. I like that. I don't want to do his will. I only want to do his will. I only want to do his will. So I'm here, and I hope you guys are going to be here with us too. I hope you all make a commitment to be here with us. As I said in previous broadcasts, the future is so bright before us. We ain't got to put on a shades to see it. It is so bright and bursting with possibilities. Yeah. I hope people stand with who stood with them. I hope so. I hope people stand with people who throw the belly for them. I hope so. But here we are this morning, folks. As I said, it had such a weekend. The declaration by the Ghana Elections Commission. I saw a lot of observer missions, wading into a lot of challenges that occurred during this election process. I didn't see the same kind of comprehensiveness from, for instance, the Georgetown Chambers of Commerce, the Private Sector Commission, sadly. But that declaration was made. It seemed to be supported by the observer missions, in spite of those myriad challenges, several of which Mr. Norton raised during that presentation there. Several were raised on that front. But you have the swearing in of Muhammad Irfan Ali yesterday. You had that swearing in yesterday at State House. And he said quite a few things you might find interesting. Right? Deborah Savage, Jilly G, good morning. Jilly G, good morning. Jilly G was in the national capital city, was in the 592 during the period, and we had several plans to link, and it always seemed to be something. She more busy than I thought. I am busy, but she's a busy lady. She's a busy lady. Here's some of what the 9th Executive President of Guyana, Muhammad Irfan Ali, said during that swearing-in ceremony yesterday. Take a look. Take a listen.
Will be required to account for their personal assets, and any who cannot do so will face the full force of the law. We'll pursue both the corrupted and the corruptors, leaving no room for impunity. On this note, I wish to emphasize that the government does not have a system of lobbying, and any person representing themselves as lobbyists or peddling access to anyone in government is misrepresenting themselves and misleading others. A special mechanism will be set up to deal with such individuals. At the same time, we recognize and respect the essential watchdog role of the media, and will ensure greater sharing of information by instituting mechanisms in every ministry and department that provide the facts in a timely way. Additionally, and of no less importance, we must as a people hold those who are tasked with dissemination of information accountable for their action. They must be held accountable also.
Yeah, some of what the 9th Executive President, Muhammad Irfan Ali, said yesterday is quite interesting, I want to come in soft today. I don't want to see talking nonsense. As we come out of this electoral period, national, general, and regional election, I want to come in soft. So I don't want to say you talking a lot of nonsense there. Right? Peddling of information, lobbying, you against that? My God. I hope you're looking in the mirror. Access peddling. is who went in WhatsApp messages. Folks. Oh, really? 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 Show us, y'all, turn the page. DPI, NCN, television and radio, right? Give the parliamentary opposition equal access. That is part of what the International Observer Mission said. The uneven playing field. Could we talk about that? Who's going to talk about that? Huh? Who is going to talk about that? GCCI? I'm still waiting to hear. Their observers, the Observer Mission, the Private Sector Commission, their Observer Mission. Look, we got some low-hanging fruits. We ain't got to be all uppity and bourgeois and bourgeoisie. We got some low-hanging fruits. Right? Point taken on the media, be holding those responsible. But the government has a responsibility too. They don't own NCN. They don't own Department of Public Information. Why not give access? We all know who've been here with us. We have given lots of space for you to understand why what the government is doing. Playing those inserts for you. Some of y'all is vexed. When I play Jagdio too often, you start pelting your TV with your shoes, like how did the pelt President George Bush at the time in Iraq or somewhere like that. Pelting your TV when you all see Jagdio. Flinging down your smartphone. You know? But I want you all hear from the horse's mouth. I want you all hear from the donkey's mouth. They don't treat us with the same courtesy. But an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Mahatma Gandhi. They don't treat us to the same. You think they would show that entire presentation by Mr. Norton? Where? They would show you a silent part of that video and talk over it. Talk over it. Opposition leader concedes to the PPPC. So as I said, we got some low-hanging fruits. We ain't got to aim for the moon and the stars here. Is lobbying only affecting this government? Lobbying efforts? Is when everybody done set. Now you got to give an account for your, well, you got to give an account from September 1, or you got to give an account from, or you have to give an account period. Right? If you can give an account how we get that mansion at Iflut or Lenora, he can give an account. They can give it real and truly. Barrett can give an account for that whole village he owns in Pradoville too. But as I said, folks, I wanna come in soft this morning. Like I said, I want to come in soft. I want to come in soft. Like I said, let's come in soft. Let's come in soft. We got some low-hanging fruits. Right now, people are being threatened on the jobs because they supported a partnership for national unity. They supported We Invest in Nationhood. They supported Forward Movement Guyana. They supported Assembly for Liberty and Prosperity. Right? They supported somebody else. They're being victimized demoted, transferred. We got some low-hanging fruits. So if we're talking inclusivity in this one guy now, those are some low-hanging fruits. The war is over. Could we call up the dogs of war? Could we? But the truth is, the PPP has always talked one thing and do something totally different. That's the truth of the matter. And maybe we don't make enough noise about it. When you could delay elections for mayors and deputy mayors, that's democracy you're tinkering with there. We put structures and systems in place, and those things got to function. You know what was sad yesterday? Talking about systems functioning. Saturday, we brought you an update from outside of GCOM on how the recount was going. And as we were moving along Main Street, we saw a flurry of activities we told you all about. You know, the grass being landicure, like a pedicure, manicure, landicure now. You know, lights being hung, bends being painted. Why only special occasions? Because systems don't function. A lot of things, programs were unfolded since the last local government elections. I was coming along for St. John Road and saw half of them stalled. Big announcement, Le Repentir Cemetery. They're doing this and that, the whole program stalled. Oh, they only have a turn start for a school and they claim we built a school. We were in several hinterland communities to see schools stalled. I remember going into Tabachinga in Letem. School stalled. Mabaruma, Hosiroro Hill, school stalled. Region 3, school stall. But you can't tell them they build a school, you know. Oh, we built 20 schools. You put all them together, they meet one proper school. Value for money. Local government election, promises left, right, and center. Half of them stall. A number of things were launched, initiatives to attract young people. I'm following some of them. What happened to the youth council? Huh? I see they give a little funding for people to start concrete block companies. Are following them. Some of them that make 2 blocks fall apart. But they can claim, oh, we get 100,000 jobs. 100,000 jobs. I was very surprised to see Irfan announcing the green light for a local law school. Man, that was 3 years ago. 3 years ago. I remember being a law student and engaging the then PPP for the need for local law school, and they didn't like the idea. They thought we were already saturated with lawyers. Yes, same people. I was a law student. That was one of the things I was very strong on. That we were producing all these law students, and then a lot of folks could not afford, couldn't get on the list, number one. And even if you could get on the list, affording to go off to Trinidad or Norman Manley or the one in the Bahamas, Eugene DePush or Puch Law School, whatever it is, Eugene. So expensive. When the last administration already got the green light, already identified the land and everything for this law school. So when I heard this yesterday, I was like, old news. Nothing new here. Nothing to see here. Nothing. Nothing new to see here. Right? Nothing new. I've been through the speech, Irfan presentation, all the major themes, all story, fluff and bluff. I tell you, all coming like this morning, right? Went back to his 2020 presentation. Same story. Go to all of his independence speeches, addresses, same story. How come 6 years in you're still hitting them? You haven't accomplished none of them yet? None of them yet? Well, I know right now there's trouble in the camp because nobody know who going back as ministers. I know a couple of them are going. So you're going to have some fallout there. Nobody don't know who going back. You see? But they said themselves, so they shouldn't be worried. Everybody got apartment, building, businesses in the name of friends, family, and favorites. They done said themselves. I was running through Starbucks News this morning. I saw license for some gold mining company issued days before the election. Right. Days before the election. You call that fair? Days before the election, license for a gold mining company issued. And that is what the observer missions talked about. The unfairness of incumbency. The unfairness, the misuse of state resources. Those international organizations talked about all of these ribbon cutting projects, blurring the line between election and what's happening with the state. Interesting times ahead. I tell you, interesting times ahead. I'll say that much. But yesterday as well, I heard Mervyn Williams along with Vincent Alexander unpacking some of what was happening at the GCOM end. Interesting to hear Irfan Ali and all the fairness and the... We got some low-hanging fruits, Irfan. Let's start there. We got some low-hanging fruits. But that being said, as I said, GCOM Commissioner Vincent Alexander, he was unpacking some of what transpired, and what he knows to have happened yesterday with Marvin William and Nation Watch. Take a look. Take a look, good folks, and take a listen. How you folks are doing this morning? Share the broadcast for us. Share the live and smash that emoji button as well. Marvin Williams and Vincent Alexander, GCOM Commissioner.
Progressive Party has been cutting ribbons, has been turning sod for this and turning sod for that, drawing wool over the populace's eye. In the meantime, the observer missions reports have been relegated to the dustbins of history of this country. And we are not moving forward. There's no evidence of a responsiveness again from the Guyana Elections Commission, speaking again to its high level of irresponsibility in the conduct of its constitutional mandate. Help us to understand what is happening with these observer mission reports as far as the Guyana Elections Commission is concerned.
The first thing I want to say, and probably to repeat, is that an observer is exactly what the word says, an observer. An observer does not have an involvement in the conduct of the elections,
right?
Nor does an observer have the authority to impose decisions in relation to elections. They make observations.
And they recommend.
And recommendations. Yeah. And so we have to see all that they say in that context. And we also have to understand that to a very large extent, their observations restricted to the polling day. And so we may be speaking to issues that are pre-election issues, that are post-election issues, and that are not manifest on polling day. So you may have on polling day a process that is peaceful, as everybody says the last election has been, where the officials seem to be doing their job, as everybody says, is saying the case has been. But that does not mean that the issues, pre-election issues, the groundwork is in place. And so when an observer makes his observations, it has to be contextualized into what was visible and knowable to the observer. Now, having said that, observers are a kind of a voluntary group of people sponsored by an organization, be it an international organization or a local organization. They're not government. So that even if the observers come from the EU, they themselves are not the government of the EU in the EU countries. So they don't have the clout that, for example, another government might have in its subsequent relations to say, we made these observations and we're not going to be friends with you because you're not doing things the way we expect things to be done, sharing values. So there's a limitation in terms of the impact of what observers say in their observation report. It is left largely to the sovereign state to determine whether to embrace or not embrace what the observers have said. And we have a situation in Guyana where, in the main, we have not embraced what the observers have said. The only time we embraced it was in the Hyde period.
Yeah, 92, 2001.
The Hyde period embraced a lot of what observers said, but a lot of that embrace had to do with the clout of the nation which the observers came from. So a lot of what's going on now has to do with the disposition of the governments.
Yep. The man himself, Vincent Alexander, wading us through those issues there. Vincent himself. Yeah, them boys have not accepted anything. Maybe one or two from the 2020 observer missions. A radical overhaul of GCOM has been proposed. It's too politicized, that's what they say. A radical overhaul of GCOM is needed. They have not gone in that direction. They have not gone in that direction at all. You see, they have not gone in that direction. So, yep. We got to work it out for us over the next 5 years as a country, as an opposition. It'd be quite interesting to see some of the positions that the Win folks take. That would be very interesting. Very interesting. We're in unprecedented times, folks. Unprecedented times. That's where we are. And we want to wish Lolita Kalinda, Lola Doll, a speedy recovery. We want to wish her a very, very speedy recovery. Lola Doll made popular. The song she wrote went viral. Concrete Body. The Cement Body. Now, if you don't know that song, don't worry. Don't worry. Cement Body. Apparently, Lola knew what she was talking about. It isn't a secret that she has had many challenges in her life. But Lola Doll has a resilience that is unmatched. late Saturday night around 11:30, we learned that she was shot. We have seen the footage as well. An assailant riding past on a motorcycle and then walking back to the car in which Lolita Kalinda Lola Doll was in, parked right out front of her residence, and firing several shots. That video evidence is available and it has been in circulation online. And she was shot multiple times. She was rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. We know now, after a lot of medical intervention, that she's in stable condition. Dr. Caleb Cadogan made a post just yesterday on social media updating the public as to the status of her health. And we know that she's in stable condition. We're told that none of the bullets struck any vital organs of this social media influencer. She's a makeup artist and she's an artiste as well. Very, very popular with our young people. She's in stable condition. None of the bullets struck vital organs. And we were told that she is to undergo a CT scan, right, to see what further medical interventions might be needed to address her injuries. Right? And we were told she was shot to her jaw. She was shot in her leg. She was shot in her abdomen. As you saw that person just walking up there and just firing into that vehicle. And in spite of all of that, to be in stable condition is nothing short of miraculous. We learned yesterday as well that at least one person was taken into custody. At least one person was taken into police custody and was helping with police investigation, assisting with this probe while the search is on for the alleged shooter. Those are some of the reports that we had. But more interestingly, we also learned that in relation to this shooting incident of Lola Doll, we are being made to understand that one, want to get the name right, Paul Davy Jr., we learned that an arrest warrant was issued for him. That would give you a sense that the police at least believes that he knows something concerning the shooting, this shooting incident. As a matter of fact, I think the police bulletin said, the wanted bulletin that was issued said that he is wanted for attempted murder. I think that's what the wanted bulletin said. And again, for the attempted murder of Lolita Kalinda Lola Doll, who was shot several times in the area where she lived and operates her business. This is Texas Square in East Ramville. The police, as I said, have since issued a wanted bulletin for Paul Davy Jr. Now, this is interesting because one has brought her into contact with him. But before I get there, I want to let you know that even with this medical update, I think I saw Melissa Atwell, my friend Melissa Atwell. She had some very, very scathing remarks for Dr. Caleb Cadogan, who she said was unauthorized to give any public updates because he's not in contact with the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation where Lola Doll is warded. He has a private institution apart and separate from that. I did see some very, very scathing remarks from Melissa Atwell in the direction of Dr. Caleb Cadogan. Okay? Caleb McClogan, I think it is. To get it, I think it's McClogan and not Cadogan. McClogan. Dr. Caleb McClogan. Some very, very harsh remarks, intimating that the family had said that nobody's authorized to give out any information as to Lola Doll's medical progress or medical status. Lolita Calendar, also known as Lola Doll, who again was shot up in the vicinity of our home and business premises at Texas Square, East Rambler. But it's interesting that Paul David Jr. has been implicated in this shooting incident, what police now is calling attempted murder. Because Paul David Jr. has been publicly identified by U.S. authorities as a major drug trafficker, operator. Major drug trafficking operator. Allegedly, this is according to what the reports we have on this matter. Allegedly coordinating large-scale cocaine smuggling using models like narco subs, illicit airstrips, and shipping networks. And Paul David Jr. was officially sanctioned on July 5th, 2025 by OFAC for these activities. So we do not know what are the connections as yet. I have seen unsubstantiated reports and allegations that Lolita Calendar, Lola Doll, and Debbie's girlfriend or wife had some beef, as we say. As again, I say unsubstantiated reports, but I've seen that in the public domain as a linkage between Lola Doll, our beloved Lola Doll, and Paul Davey. Again, the police have not confirmed that as yet, and that's why we're saying we're going to wait to see how the police draws that connection when they next give an update on this issue. But we know that Lola Doll remains hospitalized at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, and she's in stable condition. That's information we have, and the police continues to ask, and anybody who has information, contact the authorities. If you have any information, you have any tips, you want to provide an anonymous tip, you can contact 911 for that. So that is information we have on that front this morning, and we wish Lola Doll a speedy recovery. We wish her a speedy recovery. Folks, we're going to leave it there. That's going to do it for us at this end this morning. That's our time and that's our program. Stay safe, and thanks to all of you for joining our broadcast. 1,800 plus of you joined us this morning. Fidel and Anthony and Hug and Alex, Humi, Olive, and all you other beautiful folks who've joined us this morning. Let us leave it there. That's our time. That's our broadcast. We're going to see you guys right back here on the next one. Stay safe.